Class, 7th. Subject, Social Science. Lesson 5. Natural vegetation and wildlife. The natural vegetation of a place are the plants, trees, and herbs that grow itself, without efforts of mankind. The natural vegetation shows the internal effect of topography, type of soil and climate of a place. The natural vegetation is a most valuable resource, besides providing different types of wood. We get bamboos, grass for paper making, gum, resin, turpentine slack, bark for leather coloring, medicinal plants and bushes from woods. A number of industries are based on forest wood. Besides timber, it is used for making furniture, sports goods, ships, railway coaches, paper, plywood and boxes for packing purposes. Forests are helpful to us indirectly also. Forests play a vital role in processes of atmosphere. Trees absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen to the atmosphere. They help in occurrence of rainfall, thus check the temperature rise, check floods and soil erosion, and help in the seepage of rainwater into the ground. Forests also check the spread of deserts and provide habitat to birds and animals. About 30% of land area of the world is under forests. Some countries are quite rich in this resource, and forests play a vital role in their economy. North America, South America, and Russia have vast areas under forests, whereas Europe, Asia, and Africa have lesser forest cover. Increasing population of the world is adversely affecting the forests. Man has been cutting the forests to obtain land for cultivation since the prehistoric era. As a result, area under forests is decreasing drastically. If natural vegetation and forests are continuously destroyed with present speed, time will come soon when the whole world would turn into desert. It is therefore urgent to conserve the forests and plan afforestation while checking deforestation. After observing the above design, you will find that the distribution of natural vegetation is not the same throughout on the earth. There is a great variation in the distribution of vegetation. With the change in climate, there is difference in the type of vegetation, type of trees, density, and size of the forests. Due to the variation of climate at different latitudes, the vegetation cover also varies. Natural vegetation of the world can be divided into three major types: forests, grasslands, desert shrubs. Forests. Amount of annual rainfall, its seasonal distribution and temperature affect the types of forests. On the basis of the geographical conditions, the forests are further divided into three types. Equatorial type of forests. Monsoon type of forest. The coniferous, comical type of forests. Equatorial type of forest. These forests cover approximately 10 north and 10 degrees south of the equator and are known as evergreen forests. Due to the continuous high temperature and rainfall, the dense forests grow in this area. The shoots of the tree are so much intermingled with each other that they form a canopy of trees which does not allow the sunlight to fall on the Earth's surface. There are different types of trees in this region, but these are not useful from economic point of view. The main reason is that it is not easy to pass through the forests, and also they cannot be cut. The large portion of South America, Central Africa, Southeast Asia, Madagascar are covered with this type of forests. Small areas of Australia, Central America are covered under these forests. These type of forests are called as selvas in the Amazon basin of Brazil in South America. Lately, this type of forests are considered to be skyscrapers. The uppermost layer of these forests comprise of 70 meters high trees. On this layer of the trees both light and thin trees are available. Below this is canopy-type story, which is formed by the intermingling of shoots of trees with each other. A small amount of sunlight is available in this layer of forests, which is useful for fruits and flowers. Below this is a shadow Rs. In this vines are clinging around the trees and also interwoven with each other. The vines which cannot survive without sunlight grow high and come out to have sunlight. On the lowermost layer of the forest there is shadow area because sunlight does not reach the ground. Therefore the ground floor is covered with decaying leaves, insects and worms, and forests are inaccessible. That is the reason that these forests are not economically useful while government efforts are on to develop these regions and make use of forests. Monsoon or deciduous forests. These forests are found in subtropical latitudes where the rain is mostly confined to one season. These forests have broad-leaved trees which grow at places where monsoon rainfall is sufficient. The season, in which there is no rainfall, these trees shed their leaves. That is why these forests are called deciduous forests. Such forests are very useful economically, but simultaneously the land under these forests is being used for the cultivation of crops after clearing the forests. These forests are less dense as compared to equatorial type of forests and are more accessible also. We get timber from these forests for houses and for fuel. The coniferous type of forests. These forests are grown in temperate regions. The coniferous forests are also called evergreen forests. In Eurasia the forests are known as taiga. From utility point of view these are the most important and precious trees. These forests include softwood of cher, fir and spruce trees, which is used for making paper. 2. Grasslands. There are two types of grasslands, tropical grasslands and temperate grasslands. Tropical grasslands. Tropical grasslands are found at 10 to 30 latitudes in northern and southern hemisphere. These grasslands are also called as savanna grasslands. These are called by different names in different regions. In Africa these are called parkland, in Venezuela these are called llanos. In Brazil these are called campos. This grass grows up to 5 meters high and after drying, it turns quite barred. There are also small-sized trees scattered in these grasslands. Mostly herbivorous and carnivorous animals are reared on these grasslands. Temperate grasslands. Such grasslands are found in temperate zone. Because of low rainfall regions, the grass is not very high but it is soft and densely grown, thus it is useful for animal grazing. The grasslands are also known by different names in different regions. In Eurasia these are called as steppes. In North America these are called as prairies. In South America these are called as pampas. In South Africa these are called as veldt. In Australia these are called downs. Desert vegetation. There are two types of deserts on the earth: hot desert and cold desert. Hot deserts. Sahara and Kalahari in Africa, Arab-Iran Desert, the desert in Indo-Pakistan, Atacama in Southern America, Southern California and Mexico in North America. Eastern Australian Desert in Australia are the hot deserts of the world. Due to high temperature and low rainfall, the vegetation is scanty, only thorny shrubs, cactus, small herbs, and grass grow in such deserts. The nature has made this vegetation to adapt to the hot and dry weather of these areas. The roots of these plants are long and thick enough to secure water from the deep. The bark of the plant is thick and the leaves have thick foliage and are very smooth, so that minimum water may escape during the transpiration. Cold desert. These deserts are located mostly in the northernmost latitude of Canada and Eurasia. The combination of Europe and Asian continents is known as Eurasia. Most of the times during a year, these areas are covered with snow. When the snow melts for a month or so, colorful flowering plants grow. In the northern areas, small grass, i.e. litsan, is grown. The desert type of vegetation is not of great use economically. Conservation of forest. The forests are of great importance because they fulfill our several needs. The great part of the timber from forests is used for fuel. Out of total usable timber, 50% is used as fuel and 33% is used for housing purposes, and rest of it is used for other purposes, i.e. for making paper, railway buggies, sleeper, wren, etc. With the increase in population, the consumption of wood is also increasing, but on the other hand, the area under forest is decreasing. Therefore, the stress should be laid on the conservation of forests and planting new trees. Sometimes fire causes great loss to forests. A specific attention should be given regarding the forests. Uncautiousness and carelessness regarding the forests should not be adopted. The cutting of trees should be systematically, and besides, new trees should be planted simultaneously. It should be kept in mind that the trees should not be destroyed due to mites and diseases. Maximum trees should be planted on the vacant space left along the footpaths, canals, rivers, roads, and railway lines. The consumption of timber as fuel should be decreased, and alternate sources of fuel should be adopted, i.e. LPG cylinder chillers, solar energy chillers, gobar gas, etc. In housing, alternate of wood should be encouraged. Wildlife. With the destruction of forests, the number of wild animals are also decreasing at a great speed. The man has been hunting wild animals along with cutting the forests. Man has been hunting animals for the sake of meat, feathers, and hides. As a result, some of the species of wild animals have gone extinct, and some of these are endangered to be extinct. To maintain the ecological balance, the survival of these animals is necessary. By clearing the forests and hunting of these animals, man has brought imbalance to the ecological balance. The nature has created biosphere in such a way that one animal depends upon the other, as small animal is a food for the big animal and the carnivorous depend upon herbivorous animals. In this way, absence of even single particular species will create disorder of physical environment. Think a while, if the number of carnivorous animals like lion, leopard is more than the number of herbivorous animals, do you know what will be the result? There would be an imbalance of ecological balance, and the carnivorous would start eating human beings. If the situation is reversed, the number of lions and leopards is less than the number of herbivorous animals. Due to overgrazing of grass, a time will come when a lush green grasslands will turn into barren deserts. Therefore, soil erosion will be more. It means the disorder of balance. To maintain the ecological balance, efforts should be made. Wild animals also a wealth of a country. For this purpose, in many countries hunting is prohibited. There should be strict law to check hunting in India. It has been felt that it is very necessary to protect wild animals, as many of the species have been extinct earlier and many of the rest are endangered to be extinct. The number of rhinoceros, leopard, lion, etc. animals have been decreased. The national parks have been established in the United States of America, India, and other countries. A natural environment has been provided to protect these wild animals in these parks. There are 103 national parks in India in different parts of the country. Jim Corbett. Shiveri, Kanari, Rajdevga, Gir, etc. are some of the famous national parks of India. Besides, there are reserved centres for the animals and birds. Chatbir is one of these centres in Punjab. The savanna grasslands in Africa is one of the largest home of wild animals. The tourists from distant places in world come to visit these places. Zebra, giraffe, antelope, stag, deer, lion, leopard, tiger, elephants, wild buffalo, rhinoceros, and different species of animals and insects are present in these regions.